All right, so for this next part, we are at a different store, but we are at their shoe section. And you got the hiking shoes, hiking boots, and everything here. So I'll touch on this stuff. Okay, first and foremost, as you can see, the socks here. You got hiking socks, hiking performance socks, right? Um, a lot of hiking socks are designed to resist blistering in certain key areas. So some of them have extra padding, extra stretch. Some of them have an elastic tensioner in the arch of the foot to help support it and around the ankle sometimes, so your muscles don't get as tired, so you can hike longer and your feet don't hurt as bad at the end of the day. So they can be very, very good. My thing is, though, is most of them are like this. Like if you look at this one, 98% polyester, 2% spandex. I prefer wool because wool still keeps you warm when it's wet. Now, if it's summertime and you're out and about during summertime, these are just fine. But if you're going to be out when there's colder temperatures, like say you're out during hunting season, duck season, just winter hiking, then you want wool. But you got to be careful because, this says it's wool, but let's look at it. All right, 75% acrylic, 15% polyester, 7% wool. The rest spandex. So it's not really, this gives you absolutely nothing, but they throw the name wool on there just to sell. Let's check out this one. Same layout, so only 7% wool. And everybody thinks this will keep their feet warmer. It's not going to. These are performance work socks. Let's check these out. So I get feel a little bit thicker. They have a little bit more arch support in them, which are very comfortable to be working in. I'm not gonna lie. This one has no wool. So, you got to be picky and choosy. Like at work, if I'm just doing hard manual labor, these feel like they'd be very comfortable. So I'd take them out, I'd wear one pair, do a hard day's work and see how they feel. It feels great, then I throw the other two in my bag, right? I could try these too on a good hike. Take one pair, you do a good hike with it, see how it feels. If they work great, throw the rest in the bag, right? You also got these shorter socks, these running socks, which, blister support, friction control, whatever they want to call it. These are nice to have too, just for your normal stuff, because, this being shorter and type of material, it's going to help wick moisture away from your feet. So if you're in a hotter environment, these can be great also to wear, depending on what boot you have. Okay, again, more of these shorter socks, smart wool, as what they call it. 57% wool. Okay, so these will have some effect on the temperature of your feet, keep them a little bit warmer so you don't freeze your toes off. I'm going to assume these are the same, they're just longer. Yeah, the same content. But it's kind of hard to get a good wool sock that is high content wool, so 80% or higher, and has good arch support. You can go and find pure wool socks all the time. There's a lot of people who knit them and stuff like that, who sell them as hobbies. Those people are fantastic to go through because, they can measure your feet and actually make socks specifically for your feet. So you don't have to buy a generic size, or one size too big or one size too small. But they're all wool, so they're going to keep your feet nice and warm in wet environments and cold environments, but they're not going to provide the arch support, which is okay, if you get the right boot. So these are trail shoes. They're not bad to have. A lot of people don't like boots, you know. Decent soles on them. Some of them have a lot of cushioning in it, like these actually make you like an inch or two taller. So does these look like boots, but kind of almost like dress shoe-ish. I wouldn't really want to hike in those. So this one's more like a trail runner. What does it say? Moab Flight? Yeah, so more like a trail runner, just by the shape and everything like that. So it's not really a hiking shoe. It has a lot of ventilation through here to get moisture out, which is good in warmer environments. You got to tailor your gear to warmer environments. You know, this is more of a hiking shoe. It's heavy duty, nice and comfortable, and it has sturdy construction on the side. Provides no ankle support, which is fine depending on who you are, where you're at. When you're looking at these, you got to know what you like. This one has a lot of foot support in there. Let's look at this one. This one has a little bit more ankle support, but not a whole lot. Let's find one with more. So this one actually goes up over your ankle, okay? So this one, it's gonna help with preventing rolled ankles, and like it's stiff up here. It's not where it easily bends off. So this is nice and stiff. So this is gonna give some good ankle support, good tread, feel down in it. So this would be a decent hiking one. You know, without wool socks, this is not gonna keep your feet super warm, but it's feels like it'd be a good one. I haven't used that particular one. These are the ones I got on now. They're work boots, but they're all leather. They come up, protect the ankle, to support the ankle. I tell people, if you're going to choose a boot to use, you know, first and foremost, pick it up, right? If it doesn't feel like you can beat somebody to death with it, then it's not a sturdy thing. You know, it's more like a runner. Okay, and something like this, even though it's considered a trail shoe, no, it's too light. You know, with a lot of modern material, they're trying to make them super light boots. Like this one is a lot lighter than that one, but you notice, like, see how much flimsier this is around the ankle, whereas this one, the same amount of pressure and doesn't. So you could take a good fall with this and your ankles are more likely to be okay. This will protect your ankles a little bit, but not a whole lot. You know, by making it lighter, you know, they have to make everything thinner and weaker. So unfortunately, that's how it goes. Right. Yeah, a lot of weak ankle support. These don't really come up over the ankles, but you also want to look to see how it bends like that. And so that's more of a hiker, with one that's designed to be almost like a running boot. Like when you do that, like it folds all the way over. And I'll show you with some of these running shoes. Like this is more like a work boot style. Like, see how that don't bend at all. Not a bad tread, but kind of flimsy ankle support, not bad. This one you can't really test out the ankle support because it got the foot in there, but you know, good sturdy construction with that one. So how high the ankle support is depends on your preference. Some people like it just at the ankle, like so. This one, you know, it gives a lot of ankle mobility. You know, this one comes up over and protects your lower ankle. And I've had some that come all the way up mid-calf, and I'm sure there's some around here somewhere. So you just want to make sure you like what you're wearing, you know, and don't do what most people do when they come to these stores. They'll take off one shoe, put that shoe on, stand up, maybe stomp the ground a little bit, and like, okay, this is fine. No, 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 absolutely no. That's not how you test out hiking boots. What you want to do is, if you got special socks like hiking socks or work socks or wool socks, put those on, come to the store. Take both of your shoes off. So now you got your hiking socks on, which generally are thicker than your everyday sock, right? So you take both of your shoes off, put both, go into the box, right? And put both of them on. Tighten them up how you feel comfortable tightening, and walk around for at least 2 or 3 minutes. At least get a feel for it, how it's sitting, how it feels on your body. And don't go with the first one. If you like it, set it aside, like put it aside and go try at least 3 or 4 that you're interested in. And then pick the best one. Go to multiple stores. Like this one has different selection than other stores, because I'm sure some of these are their particular name brand, or they have special contracts with them. Who knows, right? So let's find a runner. Here's a runner. This is what I mean by pressing down. It allows you to roll and push off when you're running a lot more than when the stiff boots will, that don't bend. So those are more for hiking. This is if you want to run or be more flexible in what you do. So you got to really test these things. And again, make sure you're wearing both of them and walk around for several minutes. If you want them as a runner, sprint back and forth a little bit. Well, jog back and forth a little bit. It's my personal recommendation. I also recommend everybody to have a pair of hiking sandals or running sandals. These are a little bit more expensive. They're $100 almost. Like, I got a pair of Nike running sandals, and I think they're $25, $30. And I've had them for years, and they're still a go-to. I use them sometimes when I'm fishing in streams and stuff like that, so I don't soak my shoes or boots. I've ran in them a lot. I've done long hikes with them. They're great on hot days that you can just take your boots off, throw them in your bag, let your feet air out, dry out, soak them in water and stuff like that. But hiking sandals are way different than your regular sandals, because they have the straps are going to be stronger and wider. A lot of them have a higher lip than this to protect your toes from hitting rocks and stuff like that. A lot of them have give. These are just more for outdoor sandals. But again, just like with the shoe, a running one, you're going to see it collapse down like that. But these are more just for an outdoor recreational type sandals. I do recommend them. Even if you're doing stuff in wintertime, I have them on standby, because you might want to walk around in your shelter with them to let your boots dry or your shoes dry after a long, hard work. Definitely don't go with something like this. That's absolutely no good. Those are like shower shoes, but people consider them, good sandals to wear around. I've seen people wear them to parks, out around lakes and fishing. I've even seen people around camp, which if you're going to be around camp, that's not bad, but there's better ones. Get a good pair of running sandals and you can't go wrong. Water shoes are freaking fantastic. They are just like the sandals, but they do cover your feet a little bit more, so people who are a little bit iffy, but you see how thin these are, you can see through it, right? So these allow your feet to air out, even ones like these, and they'll protect you from stubbing your toes on rocks and sticks and stuff like that. So these are great. These are kids ones though. I did not see any adult ones, but then again, we still got a whole nother section. Yeah, leave those alone. But water shoes like these are fantastic too. I actually got a pair at home, and I've walked around all day in them. They have absolutely no real support, no real cushioning, so they do toughen your feet up, kind of like barefoot walking and barefoot running. So they're great. More sandals. These are a little bit sturdier construction than the shower shoes, you know, but I would, because they don't have the straps that go around the ankle and stuff like that, you can't run or move quickly in these. So I would stay away from them. That's just how it is. Let's get over to some of these boots. Now some of these are actual like work boots, not so much hiking boots. Got the steel toe, as you can see. A strong freaking foot support. They don't collapse. Ankle support, pretty solid. You know, so, you know, these are more like work boots, but they're also freaking great. These come up over the ankles. These come up the freaking calf, you know, and this all depends on what you like. This is a very solid boot. I'm pretty sure this one's water resistant, waterproof. So this is like an outdoor one, definitely an outdoor designed one. But no, that's not steel. That's probably a ceramic or hardened plastic. But you know, this is going to be a good sturdy boot for you to wear on hikes and hunting trips, and if you're wearing it here and you get lost and now it's a survival situation, perfect. It's going to keep your feet nice and dry. It's going to keep them very warm too, because, you know, see how thick these walls are. You know, so you got to make sure every now and then you stop and let your feet air out. I don't care if it's cold outside. Stop and let your feet air out. Don't let your feet get freezing, but let your feet air out. Change your socks. Take care of your feet, because you are walking on them. They're the only pair of feet you'll ever have in your life, and you'll lose those, you're crawling everywhere, and life just gets a million times harder. Yeah, this is another good brand. This one looks like it's built for a little bit colder environment than that other one over there. It has solid ankle support. Look at that. It's trying to turn it. Barely moves even as high it is. That's a good one. These Muck Boots. If you're not running through mud or water all the time, ankle deep water, there's no point in them. They're very tiring on your feet, and they make a lot of noise. And the noise irritates me. I like the peace and quiet of the outdoors. Here's another good, decent one. A lot of heavy traction on there. Leather. Very solid ankle support. Not a steel toe, so this is just mainly out. You know, you'd use that on a hike or a hunt or whatever. This one, oh yeah, steel toe. I can't really test the ankle support because the foot in there. Probably could take it out. This one, the way the tread's looking, like it might be more of a work boot. More work boots. Oh, definitely these slip-ons. Don't want. I've seen people having to run in these, and they come off the foot just because this elastic wears out. You know, everybody says, "Oh, they're so easy to put on, put off." And it's like, who cares? It takes 10 seconds to freaking tie your boot. Who really gives a shit? So this is another one. Very strong ankle support. Very strong. Look at that. And you can see the extra reinforcement here. This is hardened rubber. And so you can actually take a nasty freaking fall and not likely jack up your ankle at all. Also has the hardened plastic rubber up here. Yeah, rubber. Right along here. So, yeah, that would actually be a good boot. I might try one of these. The Irish Setter. I might try one of those. Looks like that one, Pinnacle. Yeah. A little bit more expensive, you know, but you get what you paid for as far as boots. There's some that are 100, 120 bucks. Like I think these were 89 bucks, and like I'm wearing them and I love them. So yeah, this is definitely a hiking boot, and so I like when they do these little dips in the back, because when you're walking and you push off with the toes, that allows that to wrap around your calf so it's not hitting in the back of your calf. When you got ones that are only this high and not higher, that hitting into your calf is annoying over time. And if you're doing like freaking 20-30 mile hikes a day for 3-4 days, you know, it can start to rub on some people depending on what happens with your socks. If you keep your socks up and change out, like, you're not likely to have a problem. With these, they're so high up and it flexes down here above your Achilles tendon. It doesn't cause a problem, but the ones that are just right at that height would if they didn't have this U shape. So it's a preference. Some people don't, they've never really noticed it, so it just depends on your body. This looks like a decent hiking boot too. You know, so apparently Irish Setter. I've never worn a pair, never even tried one on as far as I know, but they look like they got 3 good solid boots right here. And this is an Irish Setter too, so this looks like one. This looks like one I can enjoy working in and then still just go straight into hiking. When you use the synthetics, you just got to wash them off after hikes and stuff like that to prevent mildew and everything and to get the dirt and stuff off there. A lot of people are not a lot of people are not thinking about carrying seeds that are stuck in these from one place to another. But since I go all over the country, I try to be careful. When I go for a hike, I clean the crap out of my boots. I make sure all pollen, all seeds are possibly out, thrown in the trash prior to going to the next place. That way I don't take a species that's native here and introduce it over to here, and now it becomes an invasive species. And so it's something to think about. So these you can literally just wash it relatively easy. I take all the laces out, open everything up, clean the inside and out. That also prevents mildew, like I said. But the main thing is to get all spores and seeds that you may be pulling with you and stop them from going other places. Leather boots. You know, I love leather boots. I love the look and feel of it. They generally are a heavier boot than synthetic. So your legs are gonna be more tired unless you get used to it. If you're like me, wearing them all the time, you know, my hip flexors are strong, so it's not really much of a problem. But if you wear tennis shoes most of the time, you're gonna put these on and you're like, holy crap, at the end of the day of a good long hard hike, your legs are gonna hurt. Your hip flexors are gonna hurt a little bit. Whereas these, not so much so. They're heavier, they're solid, but they're heavier than the shoe, a lot more solid than the shoe, but they're not as heavy as an all leather. And generally with the all leather, when they do the ankle support, they go up higher. So also more material, but that one feels like it'd be a good one too. Rocky. I've had Rocky boots before. Not a bad brand. You know, you just test them out the same way. We'll just briefly go over some of these. This one's mixture of synthetic and leather. Another Irish Setter. Another Rocky. Stay away from slip-ons. No reason to have them unless you're like working on a farm or a ranch. This one right here is probably what I'm after. Yeah. So this one looks like it's built for a little bit colder weather, so you usually get thicker around here, thicker material to keep the heat in. You know, so this is not one you'd want to use in the summertime most likely, unless you expect your feet to get cold from